Where do I even start? So it's 2023. It's a new year. We're getting into some new projects. Troy and I went out today and I picked up something and had a guy come up to me at work and ask me if I'd be interested in something that him and a friend had for sale. And I couldn't pass it up. I don't know if it runs. It hasn't ran for a long time. I don't know how long it's sit. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But we bought a new project. Bought a project truck. Not real sure where I'm headed with this build. What this holds or not. But we went and picked it up today. We're going to wash this thing, which we're getting ready to head to the car wash right now to wash it off and whatnot. And I'll show you a little bit of it right now. Like I said, I don't know what's in store for this build, but I do want to try and get this truck running. Like I said, I don't know what happened to it. The guy didn't know what happened to it. All we know is there's some pieces undone on the motor. I don't know if it's got oil in it. I don't know if it's got antifreeze in it. I have no clue. Like, this thing is unknown to the gills. 1985. Based on the VIN, this is a D150 pickup truck, but it says 150 Royal SE. Like I said, truck's been sitting for a long time. The motor's been, or at least the valve covers and stuff have been pulled off the truck. Overall, it's honestly not a bad truck. It's, you know, got some issues. Body's not the nicest, but it's not the worst. Cab corners on this side are pretty good. The bedside's got a little bit of rust above the wheel arches. Definitely needs some love underneath here, that's for sure. What is that? That's weird. Oh boy. They've like welded the bumper onto this thing. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to cut that off. This is all like this. It does have, from what I can tell, on it. So yeah, this must be a 150, or somebody's added this stuff. I'm pretty sure this is an 8 1/4, which sucks. I was hoping it was like an 8 3/4, or they had a big 9 1/4 rear end they used, but I don't believe this one is it, because that looks pretty small to me. But yeah, it's not the nicest truck. Even worse. And you know, we'll clean it up. We'll do some stuff. But you know, normal barn find truck. Seat's a little tore up and whatnot. Good. The doors close good. They're all weird loosey-goosey. I'm gonna get to the car wash and see if we can clean it up a little bit before we start to get into what makes this thing tick or not tick. So stand by. What the hood looks like. Ugh. Got the old 318 here, 2-barrel with a 4-barrel carb on top of the 2-barrel intake. But we're gonna degrease all this under here and see if we can get this to look a little nicer and clean it up a little, make it a little easier to work on. And then we're just gonna wash it and see if we can get some of this truck. So I'm gonna spray her down some old super clean and see what happens. All right, so we got it home, sitting here on the trailer, and I pulled one of the batteries out of it. I cleaned up a little bit after the wash. It definitely needs a little detailing. It's not the prettiest, but this battery was in the truck, so I went ahead and put this on the charger for a little bit. And you know, the valve covers were off of it, so I put those back on. When I washed it, all the plug wires are pretty much falling off this thing. I'm gonna try and crank this thing over and just see if it turns over. I'm gonna unplug the coil though, just in case. I don't need it sparking or nothing. So let's see if it'll even crank over. We got power, we got a light on. Let's see if it'll crank. Ooh, it cranks. Wonder if the blinker's on or something, maybe the hazards. Is there hazards on here somewhere? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it had hazards on, which is kind of funny. I wonder why the hazards were on. Maybe it broke down. That's interesting. Well, that's a plus. We know it cranks, so that's a good sign. So that means we can do some testing and start pulling some things off. Doesn't look like it's running in a while, so we're definitely gonna need to change the oil, maybe put some valve cover gaskets on it, and see what we can find out, see if we can get this thing started. That'd be cool, right? But anyways, let's get some plugs pulled off, and maybe we'll go ahead and do a compression test on it too. So I'll grab the tester and we'll check that out. All right, so we got the truck out here. We got it all washed up, got it unloaded. Don't have space for it in the garage, and you'll have to excuse the wind noise. It's super windy out today, and the weather's kind of been all over the place. But yeah, so we got it here. We kind of pressure washed everything underneath the hood. Looks a little better. Valve covers and stuff aren't bolted on, so we got to sort that out. I believe there's leaves and stuff underneath the valve covers. But what I'm gonna do for right now is I'm gonna pull all the plug wires off the plugs. I'm gonna blow off around the plugs because there's a bunch of gunk and stuff in there. And then we're gonna pull the spark plugs out of it. We're gonna do a little compression test on this thing and kind of see if we can find out where the health of this engine's at. So we're gonna pop these plugs out and start doing a compression test. Well, I started pulling plugs out of it, and this first one up here, it's a different plug. And I started pulling 1, 3, one's in it, there's 3, there's 5, and number 7 plug I just pulled out. That is no bueno. I'm still gonna go through and do a compression test on it. I might just stick my blowgun down in there and see if I can blow anything out of it that's residual and stuck in there, because the porcelain's gone off this thing, and obviously something contacted it. So it's not looking too good, but we are going to, like I said, do a compression test on it and see what we can find. As you can tell there, the inside of this whole motor is pretty nasty. I was gonna have to do some major cleaning if I felt comfortable trying to like get it started and running. But I'll pull this other plug out and do a compression test, and we'll see what number 7 is showing. All right, so I pulled the oddball plug out of number 1, and that's what we got in number 1. So yeah, there's definitely more than likely some catastrophic failure in this motor. But like I said, I'm gonna go through, I'll blow out these holes real quick to see if there's any like debris in them. I don't want to get them out before I try and compression test it. And then we'll spin this thing over and see what it looks like. Well, number 1 shows it's got almost 150. We're looking like 145. I mean, that's not terrible. I'm gonna go straight to number 7 and see what number 7 looks like. Here's number 7. Well, I'm pretty sure there's no piston in that one, because it did not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's got no piston in it left, because it did not move. And judging by the way the spark plug looked, wherever it went, I don't know. It's down there somewhere. Oh, that one. Judging by how that looks, yeah, it's not good. So this was kind of a gamble to buy. It was a shot in the dark to see if we could try and even get this thing running. I actually bought a new 2-barrel carburetor for it because somebody had put a 4-barrel carburetor on a 2-barrel intake. But it is what it is. Sorry for the wind. And then I also picked up these for the truck, so I was hoping to do all this in today's video. I picked up some 20-inch wheels for the truck. Gonna need some new tires, but the wheel spacers I have don't work because the hub bore on the spacer isn't as big as the hub bore on the truck. The spacers I got, this is like 3-inch, and then the truck itself, this is actually 3.5-inch. So I'm going to get some different spacers anyways. But that, yeah, that pretty well ends the beginning of this project. Not sure what we'll do from here. Let me know what you all think. What you think we ought to do? It needs a motor. I'm cheap, so let's keep this realistic here. Don't tell me to put like a Viper V10 or something in this thing, because I can't afford that. But yeah, let me know what kind of engine you think we should put in this thing. What should we do with it? Maybe use it as a tow pig for the boost knuckle or something. Who knows? But just let me know. Put it in the comments down below. Well, that's going to end today's video pretty short. I didn't really have anything else in the works other than my plan was to get this truck running and started, and I was gonna be like, yay, we saved it. But the truck's been sitting for who knows how long. As you saw there, when I put the battery in it, the flashers were on, so I knew something had happened to it, and then left it stranded because they had the flashers on. But yeah, it sucks because I was really amped to get this thing running, especially because I bought that new 2-barrel carburetor. I'm like, dude, this will be such a cool little cruiser. But that did not work out in my favor. So yeah, but anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep following along. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. All right, so I decided I was gonna go ahead and pull this carburetor off. I'm gonna clean this up and sell this, try and recoup some of my money on this truck. And you know, these little 318s in these trucks are pretty hard to kill. I mean, they're pretty relentless. They're kind of like an old LS, if you ask me. I mean, these things, you slap them together, they'll run forever. Beat the hell out of them, they don't care. But I should have known, because as soon as I pulled this carburetor off, I kind of looked at this spacer here, this adapter where they went from a 2-barrel to 4-barrel, and I thought, what made that piston disappear? Something got in it. That bolt's missing. So whenever they put those in, they probably didn't Loctite them. And it looks like the other ones are about to fall out too. So they probably didn't Loctite them in. Yeah, almost guarantee it. See, they just like crammed some washers down on here. Yeah, look, that one's loose. I just pulled that one out with my fingers. Yeah, that's what it did. One of those bolts came out, fell down inside the intake, and then it got sucked down there and grenaded the piston. At least now we know.